I bought this bad boy for $33. It's got some problems. It's extremely dirty. When I try to do any of these controls, they just do not work. You're supposed to be able to turn this thing around. It's just spinning freely around in there. And there's these weird like brown paint, so I need to figure out how to get that off. And through this video, you will see me fix those and many other problems along the way, so I can eventually afford my dream car, a Porsche Boxster. The guy I bought it from said they only use it like twice. And looking around in there, yeah, it's dirty, but there's zero rust, and you can tell it's like never been used. So the first thing I'm gonna check is the oil, because if it doesn't have any and I try to start it, it will probably blow up the engine. Oh, yeah, I see like no oil on here at all. That's not good. Then I noticed I could see inside the engine, and I actually found something. You can kind of see back there, that metal rod is the part of the linkage, I think. I tried moving that linkage thing I found, and yeah, it was broken. I'm just gonna reach my arm back there and see if I can grab it. I might have to end up taking everything apart. Oh, I feel it. I think I'm gonna have to end up taking the whole cover off there, because I cannot reach it, so let's do that. There, after like 10 minutes, there's one bolt. There's like 50 of them. Oh no. I'm gonna try to get a power tool for this. It's taking too long. I did end up finding a power tool, but it was dead, so I had to charge it. But in the meantime, I also found this light, so I can show you guys what's in there. So in there, parts all look pretty good. Spark plug or something, I don't know. And there's that rod that I need to fix. Oh, and there's the fuel tank. That's the spark plug, I think. You can check that later. And there's no way to look on this side, but I gotta take all those bolts off, so let's do this. So I actually haven't told you guys everything I need to fix yet. I bought the snowblower and 2 other lawnmowers for $33 each, so $100 total. But it's gonna be difficult to fix them all because it's kind of getting wintertime. It's November, so who needs a lawnmower? But the most important thing is I'm moving in like a couple weeks. So it's possible I just have to throw this away if I can't get it done. So yeah, the pressure is on. Oh, finally. These bolts took forever to take off because of how rusty they were. But eventually all I had left was the side bolts. Alright, now I gotta try to see if I can pop this thing off. I think this thing needs to come off. Turns out I forgot the headpiece was still on, and to make matters worse, my power tool didn't fit. Oops. So finally, after I thought I had all the bolts off, I could just take it off. But of course not, there was still something left. Oh, well, if I want to take this green part off, I also have to take this entire panel off, which is scary because it says electronics in it, so I'll just have to be careful, I guess. Maybe now it will pop off. I tried to be as careful as possible when taking it off because I really did not want to crack it. Just need to get this one bolt off somehow. I don't know why I keep forgetting the bolts. There we go. Now that pops off. Now will this whole, oh, maybe I need to take the gas cap off. And finally, I could tell it was ready to come off. There we go. Okay. As you can see, this thing is old and it still looks pretty clean. I tried my best to find out why the snowblower head thing wouldn't turn. So to me, it looks like this is the correct spot for it to go in. It just doesn't go in all the way. And you can see the little hole on top of there. So I bet it connects to something inside here that makes that whole thing like spin. So I took off the cover piece to find out if my theory was correct. Okay. And it seemed I was right because it fit perfectly. But if you look on here, there are all these teeth on here to like make this thing rotate, I think. And right when I was saying there has to be a gear somewhere that connects the two, this happened. Oh, wait, what? I'm not kidding. I literally just found this sitting down there. This has to be it. And it seemed to be the right one because it perfectly lined up with the gears on the headpiece. Which way does it go? I think if I just pull this out, this slides in there. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that makes sense. But then I just need to find a pin. I looked everywhere for the pin, but it was so small, it must have just fallen off. I have no clue where it would be. But I was not going to give up that easily. Okay, this might be a crazy idea. What if we use one of these zip ties? It was definitely pretty difficult to fit through, but eventually, I mean, I feel like that actually might work. Just need to get something to cut the zip tie. Because then now if I spin it, it spins the gear. And then if I pop this guy on top, it spins the whole thing. Let's go. So as you can see, I'm gonna rotate this, move this thing right up here. Somehow my zip tie worked. All right, time to put this back together. And while putting it back on, I made a fatal mistake that actually ends up making it better. Ready? Oh, now it doesn't work. Yeah, so that sound was the zip tie being broken in half. that's busted. I wonder why I did that. The reason ended up being because I tightened down the thing too much, which restricted the head from moving easily, which made it snap when I tried to push it. I'm gonna try to put these higher quality ones on there and see if they fit. There we go. That's one. And while I was trying to put in the second one, I realized I think I have to put them in at the same time for this to work. So I cut the other one off. There we go. And put both in at the same time so they would fit. All right, there's two. So that should hopefully be enough. And I'm just not gonna tighten the next thing all the way down. So this time when I put it on, I did it way more loose. Oh, forgot to put the thing under here. So it's hand tightened like all the way down and it's not coming off and it still works. So I think that'll have to do. There's not too much else I can really do until I get oil. I was gonna say it's probably time to wash it, but I got distracted by the engine. If you watch right there, and I pull the cord, it seems to move everything. So the belt also moves. Really the only other thing I can do is give it a wash because it's still pretty dirty. So I'll get to that. There we go. I promise you it is November. It's just like the nicest day it's been for a long time. It's been super cold. Well, I was about to go turn the water on and I realized it doesn't work anymore. That's what I thought, but it turns out there's just a button I need to press to activate it, but I didn't know that, so I took it to a different hose. Basically, all I have left now is just to get that engine running, so let's bring it back. So, it's a little bit later in the day, and you may have remembered that there's an electric start on this. And I also noticed there's a plug-in to charge the battery. So my only concern is there actually a battery? So I did my best to look around and find one. I don't even know where the battery would even go. But I thought maybe the battery was tiny and was in the starter motor. So if you look there, that's a plug-in. This is the other side of that plug-in, and this black wire right here goes all the way over and onto this thing. And there's no part in between where it stops where a battery could be. Like, it's just a straight wire all the way there. Very confused. So all I can really do is just plug it in and see if anything happens, because I don't know. Oh! Okay, I'm not gonna do any more because it's gonna wreck the engine. It has a battery then. What? Press the electric start. That's crazy. Okay, it needs oil bad. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have oil soon. Welcome to day 2. The first thing I'm gonna do is check something. I kind of have a feeling that if I unplug this, there actually may not be a battery in there and it has to be plugged in to start. Unplug it. All right, so if this makes a noise, that means it does have a battery in it. No. So that means it does have an electric start, but there's no battery in it. And I thought I was charging it last night. Let's just make sure. Plug it in. Yep. I still need oil though to make that one work. So in the meantime, I could try to get this bad boy fixed up. So I started by checking for gas. Well, there's no gas in there. It does say guaranteed to start. So we'll see about that. All right, I know it doesn't have gas in it, but I'm just gonna see what it feels like when I pull it. Oh. Oh, that does not feel or sound right. Yeah, there's something messed up in there. And so I got to work and started taking it apart. And I decided to check the oil. I mean, it could use a little more, but it's got something. Well, it looked like there's no fuel, so we should be good. I had to be careful with the fuel line, because like in my last video, it's kind of crusty. It does not want to come off. And I didn't want to rip it off super hard, but I eventually switched to my pliers. Well, there's a little bit of fuel. And I was not prepared for what I was going to see underneath this. Oh boy, yeah, there we go. Let's see what we're dealing with. So I just cleaned it up by hand because my power washer is actually broken now. And I tried to take off the main cylinder part, but I just couldn't get a good grip on it. So it looks to me like it's scratching right there. If you listen, maybe it's just scratching through the whole thing. I don't know. No, Noah, it was not scratching. You just know nothing about lawnmowers. I'm supposed to be holding the handle at the top, and when I pull the handle, it releases it, so it lets it spin freely. But because I wasn't holding the handle, the brakes were on, so it didn't do anything. I don't know what I was thinking there. Honestly, I have no clue. That's good. But anyways, I called it good and put it all back together. Also, if you aren't subscribed and have been enjoying the video, please subscribe. It's free and it really helps me out a lot. Oh yeah, that's way better. I think I'll go clean this real quick and then get some gas and see if it'll do anything. And while I was moving it, I got a little distracted and checked the blades, and they actually looked pretty good. And because I still didn't know that was just a button to fix the hose, I went to a different hose that was farther away, and this one was just broken. Since it takes forever to get to the water fountain thing, I'm just gonna use a cup of water. It was definitely inconvenient this way, but I was able to like really scrub it good, which I think helps in the end. And I feel like I still did a pretty good job cleaning it, for now at least. Is it perfect? No. But it's a lot better than it was before, and now I feel better about it. Just gotta see if it runs. This green one right here is the second one I bought, and it's kind of beefier, but I'm gonna wait a little bit to work on this one. I'm just gonna try to focus on those two. Then I cleaned up my workspace because it was starting to get clustered in there. All right, that might be it for the day. Basically, all I need now is oil for the engine and some gas, and then we can clean them up and get them sold for good. All right. It's day 3. I think right now I'm gonna take the spark plugs out of both of these and just check and make sure they're good. Okay, there we go. I mean, I'm not really sure, but to me that looks not right. That looks a little too burnt. So while I was at it, I decided to check the snowblower as well. That one looks pretty good, but this one might need to buy a new one or try to fix this one. So this one's good though. Yeah, this thing has like never been used. So I took some sandpaper and did my best to like sand off all the grimy stuff. Looks a lot better now. It's definitely not perfect, but it's better. So let's put that in. All right, let's get some gas in this thing and see if it does anything. All right, let's see if this bad boy starts. It was not looking too hopeful at the start, but then... Oh, that was close. No way, it just... That's crazy, it just worked. All right, so this thing does have a thing called the self-propel system. That's basically when I push this, it should drive itself. So let's see if that works and let's see if it cuts grass. It just drove itself. I just pushed the thing a little bit and it did it. I mean, it's cutting the grass. That's crazy. All right, well, I mean, there we go. So since that one's done, might as well move on to the next one, right? And yeah, it's green. It looks a little weird. And I just realized you can't really even see it. It's kind of out of frame, but I promise it's right here. I'll show you. So from this angle, it looks like a completely normal lawnmower, but that changes when give it a turn like that. And you see, for some reason, one wheel's here and one wheel's here. I don't really know why, but yeah, this is just a goofy lawnmower, but it was pretty easy to take apart. I also checked the spark plug and sanded it as well. And because I didn't really see anything immediately wrong with it, I just put it all back together. Definitely not really expecting anything to happen here, but at least we have this choke. So we can see if that does anything. Yeah, the choke did not do much, and it just would not start at all. Getting nowhere with that, I don't think. So I decided to take it apart one last time just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Now I can pop off this thing and see what's under here. Well, I guess it feels right. Yeah, that feels right. I think you can look into the engine through this part, or like an area of the engine. And I was not prepared for what I found. Oh, that does not look good. See that? That's nasty in there. It's kind of hard to see, but it looks disgusting. Honestly, I don't really know what to do here, so I think I'm just gonna clean it up as much as I can and then put it back together because I don't know what to do. I was completely lost here because, you know, I don't really have much experience with this kind of stuff. Oh yeah, that's good. I did flip 2 other mowers, but I've never flipped a push mower. Literally, this video is the first time I've ever taken one apart or even attempted to fix one. But it's all for the goal to get my dream car. Alright, I'm just gonna try to start it just to see if anything happens, but I'm not expecting anything to because I think this might be ruined. But before I started it, I wanted to swap the spark plugs with the one I know that worked, just to make sure they weren't the issue. This one sure doesn't look much better than the other ones, I don't know, but we'll see. So I put it in and did my best at trying to get it to start, but just would not start. I don't want to break it even more, so honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna get this thing to work, but... So I put the spark plugs back in, but while I was doing that, I just realized that's leaking something. Then I quickly gave the other mower a start just to make sure it's still working good. Yeah, she's good. Well, I'm done. All right, I ran to the store, got some motor oil, $8. You know, that's fine, it's not that bad. So, gotta put it in this bad boy and then see if he'll run, which is gonna be scary, but let's do this. I couldn't find a funnel, so I just poured it in by hand, and I actually put a little bit too much in. Okay, it's like half, but I decided I'll just leave it in. I'll just leave it in like that. Let's see if it runs. So here's where it gets scary. Let's go for it. I was super nervous, so I checked everything before I started it, and then I went for it. Feels close. Wait, do I need to hold this down? Do I have gas? Oh yeah, I do. I have a lot of gas. Huh, make sure I did everything. So I thought maybe it was the spark plug, so I took it out, sanded it really good, and then put it back in. But it would just not work. So I tried manually starting it too, and that didn't work either. Well, I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm gonna come back tomorrow because it's kind of late. And with a fresh mind, I will research this and I will figure it out. All right, welcome to day 4 or 3, I don't know. Today, I'm going to focus all my attention on figuring this thing out. Because I kind of feel like that other lawnmower, that green one, is not gonna work. I was thinking about it. I think it's a fuel problem. So, I'm gonna check all the fuel lines, make sure they're good. I eventually found the lines and had an idea. I'm gonna do something a little risky. I'm gonna take the line off from the fuel filter and see if fuel is coming out. Because it looks a little weird. It's kind of hard to see, but that red thing, that I'm pretty sure is the fuel filter. But eventually, oh yep, there's fuel. No clue if you could see that, but a bunch of fuel just came out, so we're good there. So I put it back on, and then I realized, now we gotta check the other side. So I looked around and realized I needed to take this plate off. Okay, let's see if this, yeah, just pulls off. Nice. Now let's take a look in here. And I looked around for a while and thought there was something wrong with the choke, but it was actually perfectly fine. I looked around even more and tried starting it a couple more times until I found this. I think this is called the carburetor, if I'm not mistaken. Had heard people say they get clogged and then it makes things not run. Need to research this though. Well, let's make sure this other one's still running. I forgot to check it yesterday. Well, I guess the very least I can do is clean this thing up and get some pictures. I like to take my things outside when I go to sell them. It's not because that garage it looks bad, which, I mean, it does. But I think the outdoors just make things look so much better. It should work. All right, got a bunch of cleaning stuff, so let's do this. Cleaning's always my favorite part of the process, besides getting something to run, of course. But I knew I could make it look a lot better if I actually polished it. I just don't have the tools. This stuff is so nice. Let me show you. This stuff isn't as faded, so you won't really be able to tell as well, but you'll still do something. You'll see. Yeah, that stuff is a lifesaver. It makes the plastic look so much better, and it's really not that hard to apply. And the footage just stops here because my camera died. But I promise I got some really good pictures and I listed it for sale. All right, so I believe I figured out the problem. I'll let VoiceOver Noah explain. Basically, because it's been sitting so long, the fuel had created a layer of residue which was blocking one of the holes that was in the carburetor to let the new fuel through. And it was very tricky to get the bolt off, but eventually. So I just had to get enough stuff off just so I had enough room to get to the carburetor. And when I finally got to it and took it off, this happened. Oh, fuel. So I took off the fuel line so it wouldn't spill anymore. If I can keep it at a higher elevation, then it shouldn't do that. I don't know how it worked, but somehow using a rag to tie it worked. There, hopefully that'll stay for a little bit. Yeah, there's some fuel. There we go, though. We got that off. Looks pretty clean. All right, so this is the part I'm nervous for. I'm hoping this thing has some stuff clogged in it, because if it doesn't, that means I might need to order a whole new one. So let's see. Oh, you can see right through it. That's not good, because that means that's clean. Looks pretty clean in there, so I don't know. Even though it looked pretty clean, I tried my best to get all the junk out of it. In this hole, I used to not be able to see another hole in there. When I cleaned it out, there's now another hole I can see that goes farther in. So maybe that was the problem. I don't know. Video said to check this yellow thing and see if it's clean, and it looks to be pretty clean to me. Now let's hook up the fuel and see if it leaks at all. Okay, there we go. Let's give it a try. Be so happy if it worked. No way. Let's go. That literally just worked. I did not think that was gonna work. And now that it was working, I wanted to get the body back together. All right, now I want to try to start it and see if these things will spin. All right, let's see if she starts. Yeah, those things were spinning crazy, I think. I decided to clean the cover first because of how nasty it was. I didn't want the other parts to get all dirty too. And when I popped it on, everything still fit well. I just realized I forgot this part, and that goes inside of there. So I took the spark plug cover off and, oh, I'm so lucky. Wait, can this fit? Yes. So I squeezed my hand in there and tried my best to tighten it down all the way. Now that thing is in there good. And I started putting the headpiece on when the worst possible thing happened. I just broke it. And the only way to fix it was to take everything I just put on back off again. I've learned my lesson. Zip ties do not work for that. So then I searched the toolbox for something else to use. Got some wire stuff. Maybe this is flexible but still strong enough where it won't break. It'll work? I don't know. So I put it on and tied it as well as I could. It doesn't look perfect. It looks pretty bad actually, but when I hold it, it does not snap. And I'm like giving it a lot of pressure and it still is working. So that's gonna work right there. So I put it back together and alrighty. All I had left to do was just to put the body back together, and besides the annoying rusty bolts, it was pretty fun. I also made sure it was still running. By the way, my microphone just died, so it's just gonna be the camera mic now. Then it was just time to clean it and get some good pictures. So I brought it out and found some cleaning supplies and got cleaning. After giving it a few final wipes, I called it good, got some pictures of it, got a couple videos of doing a cold start, and I was finished. All right, well that's a wrap for the day. List it tonight and see if anything happens. Alright guys, it is nighttime as you can see, and the guy decided he's gonna buy it. Basically, I had two people interested, but this guy said he'd paid the full $125 I had it listed for. I just had to deliver it the next day. I gotta deliver it tomorrow, so I'm gonna bring it to the garage, the clean garage, and make it look nice. And make sure everything works as well. Alright, here we are. There she is. It's been like a week since I've seen this thing. That door keeps making noises. I was freaking out. Oh, it just did again. What was that? This is scary. Why is my light doing that? I'm so confused. It's like a horror movie. What is happening? Oh, safe and sound. Okay. I'm just hoping everything goes good tomorrow. We got it there the next day. It started great, and the guy seemed to like it, so he bought it. All right, so I ended up selling the mower for 75 bucks. You already knew I sold the snowblower for 125. So if we do the price breakdown, $100 for all three. I ended up throwing away one of the mowers, so I never made money on that. $9 for the oil. I got $200 total for both of them. Subtract all that, that's $91 profit. So maybe not as profitable as last episode, but hey, at least I didn't go negative. Next episode might take a while because I'm gonna be moving, so it might be a couple months. I will not stop posting though, don't worry. Thank you all so much for watching. Please check out my first episode if you haven't already. And yeah, that's it. See you guys later.